Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live coverage of Starlink Group 6-84 mission launching from Space Coast, that is from Launch Complex 39A at Kennedy Space Center in Florida. We hope you all are doing fine and excited about this much hyped upcoming SpaceX Starlink launch. If this is your first time here joining us, hi, my name is Dipta Maitra. I'll be your friend firstly and the host for providing commentary for today's mission launch, and you are watching AstroYonder live.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around.
Houston, we see a nominal MECO. Welcome to space.
We are super excited bringing you the coverage of SpaceX's 480th overall launch and the 52nd Falcon 9 launch of this year, which means that SpaceX is going to have its 500th launch and 450th landing this year, with more 20 launches to go. This is going to be really a major milestone for SpaceX. Now we are waiting for a Falcon 9 liftoff at 4:54 a.m. Eastern Time, 8:54 hours UTC from Florida for a southeasterly launch for SpaceX Starlink mission. The Starlink mission 6-84 will launch 29 version Mini 2 optimized Starlink satellites to low Earth orbit, and this is the first time a batch of 29 Starlink version 2 mini satellites is being launched, making it the highest count for the version 2 mini variant so far. Now, before we dive in, on behalf of AstroYonder team and our awesome moderators, we want to thank all of you joining us for today's launch. We are truly grateful to have you all here, and a big thanks to our amazing YouTube community for being here today supporting us as we provide detailed coverage of space launches, complete with extensive stats and thorough insights. Really appreciate and a heartfelt gratitude for you being here. Also, we would love it if you guys show up into the chat and let us know from where you are tuning in. Feel free to drop any questions, suggestions, or share your thoughts as we move ahead with the stream. We would love to hear from you and get to know more about you. Now, just a reminder, it's me just only managing the launch coverages on my own. So if by chance we face any technical issues or hiccups, kindly bear with me and hang tight. But there is nothing to worry. I will do my best to guide you through the upcoming Falcon 9 rocket launch happening in approximately 36 minutes from now. Now, getting to the mission details, according to 45th Weather Squadron officials, there is a 60% chance of favorable weather conditions at the time of the launch, with 40% weather constant violations related to anvil cloud rule, cumulus cloud rule, and thick cloud rules violations. The forecast calls for a temperature of 23 degrees Celsius, broken clouds with 76% cloud cover, and a wind speed of 10 miles per hour. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that the launch proceeds on time without significant delays. But if for some reason the launch does not happen today, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow, that is on Monday, May 5th, with launch window opening at 4:56 a.m. Eastern Time. Now let's take a look at today's payload details for Starlink Group 6-84 mission, which is the center of attraction. This launch marks the 35th dedicated Starlink launch for this year, and before this, a total of 799 Starlink satellites have been launched in 2025 alone. So with today's launch, it will be past 800, and it's just 4 months and 4 days of this year. So it's crazy. Built in Redmond, Washington, today's payload consists of 29 Starlink version 2 mini optimized satellites, the highest count for the version 2 mini variant getting launched today. Just a reminder, today's payload does not consist of any direct-to-cell satellites. Each satellite is equipped with a 5 advanced Ku band phased array antennas, 3 dual band parabolic antennas utilizing Ka and E band, and a 52.5 square meter dual solar array with a wingspan of 100 feet. The two solar arrays are also aeroneutral, which enable faster on-orbit maneuvers, and each satellite is also equipped with a high-capacity battery to power their payloads. Each Starlink satellite features 3 space laser transponders, that is optical inter-satellite links, for also known as ISLs, for intercommunication, which operates at up to 200 Gbps. Usage of ISLs are now quite prevalent in the satellite industry, and in most of the satellites you can find them nowadays. It's so much prevalent in the development of satellites. Now these satellites makes Starlink satellites makes use of argon fueled Hall effect thrusters for in-orbit maneuvering, which was previously based on Krypton, and the switch was basically due to the cost effectiveness of argon compared to Krypton. Today's payload will be deployed in an orbit with an altitude of approximately 274 kilometers with an inclination of 43 degrees. But the operational orbit will be of an altitude approximately 559 kilometers with the same inclination, that is of 43 degrees. Each version 2 mini optimized satellite weighs approximately to 1,268 pounds, equivalent to 575 kilograms. Now this is approximately 22% less than the original version 2 mini variant. Now just for the context, each unoptimized Starlink satellites weighs approximately 1,763 pounds, which is equivalent to 800 kilograms. The Starlink satellite use custom-built star tracker to find their position, altitude, and orientation for optimal broadband throughput. Each one has 4 reaction wheels for precise attitude control. By attitude control, I mean the orientation, plus a hot spare setup for their reliability. Their aluminum flywheel is designed to safely burn at the end of their useful life. And additionally, they have an onboard autonomous collision avoidance system that uses the US Department of Defense debris tracking database for avoiding collisions with space junks, other spacecraft, and with other Starlink satellites as well autonomously. To understand the importance of the autonomous collision avoidance system, here's a short, quick context. According to a SpaceX report published last year in 2024, Starlink satellite performs 275 collision avoidance maneuvers each day, and in that course of past 6 months when this report got published, Starlink performed 50,000 collision avoidance maneuvers. So I hope you can understand the significance of an autonomous collision avoidance system by this example only. Now about the optimization part and how SpaceX is leveling up, sending 29 Starlink version Mini 2 variant. These are equipped with these optimized Starlink satellites are equipped with a SpaceX designed dual band chip called Doppler. Each satellite features enhanced backhaul antennas. By using the Doppler chip, which is in-house designed by SpaceX, which utilizes Ka band and Ku band frequencies, and for that the backhaul antennas can handle higher data rate with lower latency. This chip, this Doppler chip is integrated into the satellite's avionics system, ensuring seamless operations and communications with other satellite components. Additionally, these optimized version 2 mini variants of Starlink satellites have an enhanced avionics for better control and communication, improved propulsion system for efficient deployment and maneuvering in orbit, and enhanced power system to support the increased payload capacity. Thanks to all this optimization, which allows Falcon 9 to carry up to 29 satellites per mission, which is 6 more than the original version 2 mini design. Now, some just quick fun facts. The Starlink 6-39 mission launched back in 2024, February 25th, aboard the Falcon 9 from Cape Canaveral, was the first to include 24 Starlink version 2 mini satellites, the then highest count for version 2 mini. But this year, on January 21st, 2025, with Group 11-8, Starlink launched 27 optimized version 2 mini satellites for the first time. Then again on March 31st of this year, with Group 6-80, they launched 28 optimized version 2 minis for the first time. So at that point of time, it was the highest for version 2 mini variants. But with today's launch, SpaceX is set to break its own record by launching 29 version 2 mini satellites, surpassing the previous high of 28. And this will be the biggest batch yet for the version 2 mini variant. In comparison, the highest for version 1 is 60, and for version 1.5, it's 57. Now, just quickly, let me tell you some stats related to the higher payload launches of the Starlink. As of today, SpaceX launched 27 number of Starlink version 2 mini variants 6 times, 28 numbers of them for 4 times, and with today's launch, they will be launching the 29 number of Starlink version 2 mini variants satellites for the first time. Now, once again, just to remind you, SpaceX is currently targeting a liftoff time of Falcon 9 from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida at 4:54 a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, May 4th. Now, just let me check whether the liftoff time is still the same or not. Yes, it's the same. So I hope they will be launching on time, because as per the weather reports, it's a little bit concerning about the liftoff time, what they will be adjusting or something. But anyways, now let's take a look at the flight record for the booster supporting today's Starlink 6-84 mission. Booster with tail number 1087 will be supporting today's mission. Today's supporting booster has 19 previous flights in its record, including missions like SpaceX Crew 6, O3B Empower B for SES, a major telecommunication operator based in Luxembourg, a classified launch of USSF 124, Bluebird Block 1 mission for AST Space Mobile, and additionally, this booster supported 15 Starlink missions. The booster's turnaround time as of today is 28 days, and now awaiting its 20th flight, just approximately 24 minutes away from now. Hopefully, if SpaceX doesn't adjust the liftoff time for today. Now, the last mission supported by today's booster was the Starlink Group 6-72 mission from Space Launch Complex for 40 on 5th of April this year, that is 2025. And today it's the fourth flight of this booster with for this year, with previous 3 supported Starlink mission. Also worth mentioning, this booster launched the final launch for 2024 on 31st of December during Starlink 12-6 mission, launching from the same pad as of today, that is Space Launch Complex 39A at NASA's Kennedy Space Center. So now let's take a look at the bar graph showing number of Falcon 9 launches each year. Before this upcoming launch, SpaceX completed its 51st Falcon 9 launch for this year with Starlink 6-75 mission launch from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station back on May 1st, obscuring the number of annual launches made till year 2021, and currently now having 20 more than the launches made in that year, that is 2021. With today's launch of Starlink 6-84 mission, the bar graph depicts 52 number of Falcon 9 launches for 2025. SpaceX is now less than halfway to the number of launches made in year 2022 and will be having 9 less number of launches from that with today's mission. As of now, SpaceX is yet to reach even the half of the launches made last year, which will be, I guess, 66, if I'm not so much bad in mathematics. Previously, SpaceX completed 132 launches of Falcon 9 last year, marking a year with highest annual launches to date for SpaceX, now aiming for another record-breaking year with around 172 to 180 Falcon 9 launches just itself, apart from upcoming Falcon Heavy launches, if any, surpassing last year's highest annual launch count. Now, if this stream fuels your love for space, give this stream a like. It's like fine-tuning the trajectory of our mission to build a community with amazing space enthusiasts like you. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification so that you won't miss a single launch update. Here at AstroYonder, we believe we will build the ultimate constellation of space enthusiasts, and for that, your kind support, we would be super grateful to you. Now, once again, please allow us a couple of seconds to check whether the launch is on time or not and to stay updated. Well, it's on time as of now. That's the right thing. That's nice. So, coming back to the mission details, I'm skipping the pre-launch timeline since it's a typical Falcon 9 launch for Starlink with absolutely no deviations. However, there is one point I would like to highlight just for quick knowledge, and which you might be knowing already, that the strong back reclining process at Vandenberg differs from that at Cape Canaveral and Kennedy Space Center. Here at Cape Canaveral and Kennedy Space Center, we recline the strong back about 1.5 degrees, whereas at Vandenberg, we recline the strong back about 13 degrees away from the Falcon 9. So that's the only difference is there in today's pre-launch timeline for the Falcon 9 liftoff for the Starlink Group 6-84 mission. I'm not going into every details. So now let's go ahead and have a look at the trajectory for today's mission. Falcon 9 leaving the pad from Space Launch Complex 39A at Kennedy Space Center with the batch of record-breaking 29 version 2 mini satellites for a southeast trajectory heading into low Earth orbit, that is to the sixth shell of second generation Starlink mega constellation, which is indicated by that green line on your screen. The red line indicates where Falcon 9 first stage will land after stage separation, just a little later leaving Florida's Space Coast. And this is going to be a drone ship landing. And today's mission is being supported by A Shortfall of Gravitas drone ship, one of the two here on the East Coast. This will be the 100 and just kindly excuse me. This will be the 107th landing on A Shortfall of Gravitas drone ship to date, and some recovery specifics for your knowledge. The planned booster recovery is approximately 595 kilometers, with estimated fairing recovery approximately 626 kilometers downrange, and the stage 2 debris re-entry will be in the South Atlantic or Indian Ocean on its second orbit. Here are some of the specifics related to drone ships as of today on your screen right now. Currently, there are 3 in SpaceX's drone ship fleet. Of the 3 drone ships, just read the instructions and a shortfall of Gravitas are stationed here in Florida, while of course I Still Love You is stationed in California. We anticipate the addition of a 4th drone ship as promised by SpaceX earlier, possibly occurring late this year or who knows in early next year, because we are not getting any information regarding that as of now. So let's move on and let's talk about fairing recovery. The 2 halves of the payload fairing will be recovered slightly farther, approximately 31 kilometers downrange from where the first stage lands on today's supporting drone ship, that is A Shortfall of Gravitas, after they will smoothly splash down with the guidance of parachutes. SpaceX will utilize a recovery vessel to retrieve them from Atlantic waters. Currently, right now on your screen, you can see how a fairing recovery operation looks like. The recovery vessel on your screen is Doug performing the recovery operation, which is also being today's supporting recovery vessel here at the East Coast. Other recovery vessels, Bob and Go Cosmos here at the East Coast, are awaiting their next assignment, while Go Beyond at the West Coast was gearing up for the upcoming Starlink 15-3 mission, but I don't know what's the issue. SpaceX pulled off the details of Starlink 15-3 missions, and even the launch got pushed back in the launch manifest for SpaceX. I hope they won't be launching. Yeah, although it was scheduled for yesterday to be launched, but we did saw a scrub yesterday, and again it got rescheduled for today. But once again today it got pushed back. I guess there is some issue with the either the with the launch booster or with the satellites, because it's not related to weather, because today weather is favorable there at the west coast. Now before proceeding, once again, please let us allow to have a check if the launch is on time and proceeding as scheduled. Yes, it is so. So that's a nice thing. The weather is not affecting the liftoff time. So we are currently now uh, 14 minutes away from the liftoff approximately. So let's just quickly done with the stats we have for you to share with. Today's launch marks the 480th SpaceX's overall launch and the 35th dedicated Starlink launch of this year. This is going to be the 467th Falcon 9 launch to date, 20th flight for this particular Falcon 9 booster supporting today's mission, with tail number 1078 in action after 28 days. But let me just quickly check whether the booster's turnaround time is remaining the same or not. Yes, it is so. So it's 28 days. Now today's mission marks the 52nd Falcon 9 launch and SpaceX's 54th overall launch of 2025. This will be the 409th Falcon booster reflight to date. That is the launch of a Falcon booster that has flown at least once before. And just a reminder, this number is just for the Falcon booster family fleet, like booster family fleet overall, not for the Falcon 9 specifically. For Falcon 9, what's the number? I'm coming in a while. So please don't get confused. Now, this will be the 110th orbital launch for SpaceX, launching from Launch Complex 39A, and will be the 204th overall launch or overall orbital launch from this pad. With the success of this mission, SpaceX will have a remarkable 8,474 Starlink satellites, including 609 direct-to-cell satellites. Now moving on to some reusability statistics. This launch marks 393rd Falcon 9 booster reflight to date. So here's the count for the Falcon 9 booster reflight specifically. 107th landing on A Shortfall of Gravitas droneship. 20th landing of this first stage booster with tail number 1078 supporting today's mission. And with this mission's first stage landing, SpaceX will be having their 351st overall droneship landing, marking 421st Falcon 9 landing so far and 440th SpaceX's overall landing to date. Speaking of landing, here are some of the stats related to the droneship landings prior to today's mission. As today's mission will be supported by A Shortfall of Gravitas, which previously supported the Starlink 12-10 mission, is having 106 successful landings as of now, with only one unsuccessful landing attempts out of 107 overall attempts. Once again, please note that this droneship landing stats, which is there on your screen and I mentioned about it, are excluding today's mission. These are prior to today's launch, so please don't get confused. Now let's have a look into some key stats related to SpaceX launches, particularly for this year, including today's mission. With today's mission, SpaceX will be having its 54th launch of this year, and out of those, 35 are Starlink missions, including today's one. 13 were non-Starlink missions for commercial and government organizations, and 2 Starship launches. 49 of these missions using a reuse booster, including today's one. Now, if you look into the geographical distribution, we get SpaceX will be having 36 launches from East Coast with today's mission launch, and on the West Coast having 16 launches, that is from Space Launch Complex 4 East at Vandenberg Space Force Base. As of now, 2 launches from Gulf Coast at Starbase in Texas, with Starship's 7th and 8th test flights and 2 Super Heavy booster catches for both of them. Now, here's a quick update. SpaceX has made this time 11 corrective actions for Ship 35 to be launched on Flight 9, and a single engine static fire back on May 1st this year was successful, but some speculation or rumors, you can say, are nearing to be true, and reports a possible explosion or a engine rapid unscheduled disassembly during a subsequent static fire attempt for all the Raptor engines, now which can potentially delay the Flight 9. But yes, SpaceX is now no longer targeting for the third week of May for Starship Flight 9, according to the speculations. Once again, it's unconfirmed by SpaceX, and SpaceX is trying hard, although right now the replacement for those Raptor vacuum engines have arrived at the starbase and they will be repairing things, and still we should be hopeful that we will be able to see the Flight 9 launch at the end of this month and possibly around 24th or 25th of May. So that's the update I have for you to share with. Now coming back to the stats for landing. Today they will be nailing it for the 50th time this year. Most of the landings are on droneship with 41 landings. And for ground landings, they pulled off 9 of them. Now SpaceX is working on adding landing pads at Launch Complex 39A and Space Launch Complex 40 to retain their return to launch site operations, as their lease for Landing Zone 1 and Landing Zone 2 expires in the upcoming July this year. I guess it's time for the webcast to begin. Just hang on, let me check if the stream is up. Yes, it's live, so that's nice. Please allow me a couple of seconds to set things up for you guys. Also would like to welcome Fairmate for joining us, one of our moderator here. Welcome Fairmate for tuning in, and I'm glad that you tuned today, although you are doing so every day. But today we have a record launch of 29 version 2 mini satellites for the first time. So it's a special one. And I didn't want it to, like, you to miss this one. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope everything is doing fine at your end, and also you are doing well. Now, adding value to your viewing experience here at AstroYonder is our top priority. So, if you feel we somewhat achieved that, please consider liking this stream. It really helps YouTube's algorithm bring in more space fans and help others to find this stream. Also consider subscribing to our channel as we work hard to bring you streams packed with stats, details and insights. We would be incredibly grateful for your support. Right now, SpaceX has some pre-launch tune going on, so I will pass the audio feed in once it drops. Meanwhile, let me just share some more stats with regarding today's launch. This launch will be the 94th orbital launch of this year, and United States is leading with 61 launches, followed by China with 23 launches, Russia with 5 launches, 1 launches each by India, Japan, and Europe with 3 launches. We are getting amazing views of the Falcon 9, mighty Falcon 9, waiting for its record launch of 29 version 2 mini variants for the first time. And we are right now pushing the tanks for strong battery track, and strong battery track is now on the way. I hope that timeline is not matching because we didn't got the call out for the stage 1 LOX load being complete. Now, while we are watching this live view of Falcon 9, a couple of important steps were completed backend. The spacecraft team switched to the internal power a few minutes ago, and fueling of the Falcon 9 first stage is finished, meaning all the RP-1 prop is currently now on board. We are still loading the liquid oxygen on both the first and second stages, and will be listening in couple of seconds for the LOX load completion for both the stages. And with this closer view right now on your screen, you can see the strong back next to the Falcon 9 is slowly starting to reclining. Although to me it feels like it's trembling there. And here we go, we got the call out. Stage 1 LOX load is complete. We are now waiting for stage 2 that will finish up just inside 2-minute mark. The strong back process is a little bit slow because I hope you guys could see that still there are lines connected that are carrying liquid oxygen to the second stage, as well as the electrical signals and the air conditioning up there in the payload fairing. We need to make sure that all of these are easily stretched out and all the mechanism works good, so that we can recline the strong back without tugging any of the lines. Why the strong back is not reclining today? It seems a little bit unusual from other days. And to the call out to our countdown, stage 2 LOX load is complete. All the propellants are now on board the Falcon 9 with 1 million pounds of propellant. We are now beginning to bring down the pressure that was in the tubing, and you can see this beautiful clouds coming out there for that reason. Next, expecting call out for ground gas closeout. Amazing views we are getting. There we go, we got the call out for ground gas closeout. Here we bleed the extra pressure off, and that cold gas, when it reacts with the moist humid air, gives us this amazing white clouds, which is an positive indicator of launch coming up. Next event, T-1 minute, we should hear the call out that Falcon 9 flight computers are in startup and controlling the rocket for the remainder of the countdown. There we go. Right on time, Falcon 9 flight computers on stage 1 and stage 2 are running the rocket through last minute of count. Let's listen to the go call out from launch director.
LD, go for launch.
So there we go. We got the final go from SpaceX launch director. We are coming up close to T minus 30 seconds. All system continues to remain go for the launch of Falcon 9 and Starlink. Now sit back and enjoy this beautiful launch of Falcon 9 with a record number of 29 version 2 mini variant satellites for the first time to be getting launched.
T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. Go Falcon, go Starlink.
Vehicle is pitching downrange.
Amazing views, really breathtaking. Falcon 9 have a successful liftoff and has cleared the tower. We are currently at T plus 34 seconds into the flight on its way with record 29 numbers of version 2 mini Starlink satellites to low Earth orbit. We are getting some good callouts, power and telemetry nominal as we are in a throttle bucket throttling down the 9 Merlin engines preparing for the period of maximum dynamic stress coming up.
Falcon
Right,
9 is supersonic.
right now we have exceeded Mach 1 on the Falcon 9. We heard the call out Falcon 9 being supersonic, which means the Falcon 9 is faster than the speed of sound as we have gone supersonic. We did got the call out for max Q as well. So right now we are through the period of maximum stress on the vehicle and we have throttled the 9 Merlin engines back up to full power again. Next expecting call out for MVAC engine chill. There we go. So coming up, 3 events in rapid succession. The shutdown of main engine on first stage, that is main engine cutoff, also known as MECO, followed by stage separation and ignition of the second stage MVAC engine for the first time into today's flight, that is also known as SES-1, which will boost the payload into low Earth orbit. So let's hear to those callouts. And with this, every passing launches for SpaceX, I don't know what they are doing, but each time their liftoff is looking so beautiful. And right now also you can see this first stage views, how beautiful they are looking.
Nico?
Stage separation confirmed.
AVAC ignition.
So we just got the callouts for all back-to-back milestone. Next up will be for the fairing separation confirmation, which will happen at T plus 3 minutes approximately.
Fairing separation confirmed.
So we got the call out that the fairing has successfully separated, and I hope you guys didn't missed out. On the left side of your screen, you guys saw that the nitrogen thrusters are reorienting the first stage, and the flight computers commanded the 4 hypersonic titanium grid fins for their deployment after a successful stage separation.
Both vehicles are on nominal trajectories.
Some good and healthy callouts again. Both the vehicles are in good health and nominal trajectories. As today is a early morning flight and it's still dark out there, so We are not getting those cool views of Earth back there, but we are getting views of the second stage and back engine nozzle operating at max capacity. And I hope we will be getting some cool views from stage 1 in some few minutes from now. Currently, the stage 1 will continue to rise towards the apogee before descending back down towards the landing site. And for today, it's a drone ship landing, so it's a shortfall of gravitas waiting for the first stage being stationed in the Atlantic Ocean. Second stage, meanwhile, with its full capacity in middle of its 6-minute burn, is on its way into the parking orbit with the 29 Starlink satellites payload on board. Up until now, this launch has been excellent and smooth. Everything went as it should be. Second stage, thanks Fairmate for mentioning the apogee. It's now a job for you. And the second stage is operating currently at max capacity, and we are getting some cool views right now. And the views from inside of the first stage, and it went back. Now we are expecting the call out for stage 1 entry burn startup. And just for your information, now you can see a little bit of the horizon there, Earth and Earth's atmosphere on the left hand side of your screen from the view from the first stage.
Stage 1 FTS is saved.
Stage 1 FTS has been saved, meaning the re-entry burn for stage 1 has been initiated.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
There is a confirmation. Right now, we just lit 3 of those 9 Merlin 1D engines on the first stage. We are now rapidly slowing down the vehicle, as you can see on the bottom left side of your screen from the telemetry. And this burn lasted for 20 seconds.
Continue to follow nominal trajectories.
Stage 2 FTS has saved.
We got some more callouts back to back, some healthy callouts for both the vehicles being in nominal trajectory. Stage 1 entry burn shutdown confirmation, and we got a call out for stage 2 FTS being saved, which means the orbital insertion burn for the second stage is now complete. Next call out we are expecting for stage 1 being transonic, and I guess you guys are noticing the first stage view on the left hand side of your screen, and you can see those little dots of plasma building around those
Stage 1 transonic.
grid fins. And we just heard the call out. Stage 1 is now being transonic, meaning it's now traveling slower than the speed of sound as it heads towards for its landing. Speaking of landing, we are less than 60 seconds away from that. Next, we are expecting the call out for stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 1 landing burn.
So we got the call out. There we go. We are getting views of that center E9 engine, which got lit. We are slowing down the vehicle furthermore very rapidly and should be seeing those landing legs getting deployed any seconds now.
Landing leg deploy.
Stage 1 landing legs deployed.
Stage 1 landing confirmed.
And there's a confirmation of a successful landing. We made it a successful 421st landing of an orbital class Falcon 9 rocket. Coming up next, we will have the second stage engine cutoff, that is SECO 1 completing its, there we go, completing its 6 minutes of burn. And following this event, now second stage will enter into about 45 minutes of course phase as the vehicle ascends to its target orbit. We did got the call out for nominal orbit insertion as well. So these were the callouts we were waiting for. Second stage engine cutoff, SECO-1, as well as the confirmation of a good nominal orbit. Today's launch marks SpaceX's 480th mission, with the landing marking their 440th success. Also, today's launch was special because for the first time we launched 29 numbers of version 2 mini variant for Starlink satellites. That's a record high as of now. Really, Fairmate, that was this launch. I was really a little bit concerned and worried about, but all went good. So, really happy for that successful launch and a landing. And I hope the payload deployment will be also happening nominally. So with that, we will wrap up our coverage for now. Also, be sure to check out our social media handle on X for the latest happenings in the space industry and updates on upcoming launches. Guess the link got posted on the chat section. Now, finally, we want to thank all of you tuning in to our live coverage wherever you are watching from. We really can't do this broadcast without your support, and we are grateful for your continued encouragement for what we do here at AstroYonder. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and we appreciate everyone joining us for today's launch. Wishing you a nice week ahead, because as it's already Sunday. Well, I guess so, Fairmade, maybe that's another angle, and that's why we didn't got to see the much difference of angle between the strong back reclining from the Falcon 9. But anyways, thanks for giving me that update, and also thanks for joining us, and I hope to see you next time. Once again, thanks everyone for joining us and watching the stream with us. This is AstroYonder Live and me, Dipta, sign off for now, and we will see you next time.